another multiple choice question for IB Chemistry. This one deals with a combination of topic 4, bonding, and topic 10, organic chemistry. And the reason it deals with organic chemistry is because the question says which molecule is most polar. But the 4 molecules present are drawn in this way. So first up, the student should convert all of these into diagrams like these to get a better visual of what's happening. Secondly, the student also needs to be aware of the fact that fluorine is the most electronegative element, and it's closely followed by chlorine, but that hydrogen has a significantly lower electronegativity. To know these actual numbers is not a requirement. Also, the student doesn't have access to the full data booklet in the multiple choice exam. But you are expected to know that fluorine is the most electronegative element, chlorine is close behind, and hydrogen is a long distance away. So once you've drawn these structures and you're aware of these electronegativities, then you are well on the way to solving the answer. But you should not get confused, of course, between bond polarity and molecular polarity, because CF4 is going to have the most polar bond, this carbon to fluorine bond. The difference in electronegativity here is the greatest. But the CF4 molecule as a whole has 4 bonds that tug the electrons in equal and opposite directions. So therefore the net polarity of a dipole in the molecule is going to be 0 because of the pulling of electrons in one direction being cancelled by pulling in another direction. Here with CF3Cl, there is some molecular polarity, but it's very little because there isn't that much difference between fluorine's electronegativity and chlorine. So you can think about 3 people pulling with equal strength on these ropes here, and the 4th person almost as strong, but not quite. So that person is going to get pulled a little bit in this direction here, and the entire shape would go a little bit out of the perfect square that it's in here. But here you'll have your perfect square. And then of course here, with all of these chlorines being the same, the pull in each direction is going to be the same, and it's going to be the same situation as CF4. But here is where you have the difference, because you have 3 carbon to fluorine bonds, quite polar bonds, but then the carbon to hydrogen, not as polar at all. And this is where this particular molecule is going to have the greatest molecular polarity, because there's going to be a net pull in this direction overall, creating a molecular dipole. And that is what this question is asking about. Not bond polarity, but which molecule is the most polar. So the answer to this question is A.